Hi guys, it's Kay. Today we are making Thin Mint Truffles. I don't know about you, but when the Girl Scouts start selling their cookies, I always buy like 5 or 6 boxes and I never eat them. And so I had a box laying around. Of course you could put them in the freezer to preserve them throughout the year, but I had a box that I did not put in the freezer that was about to expire. So I wanted to make something with them. I didn't want to waste them, and I just didn't want to sit on the couch and eat them because I am guilty of doing that. So today I decided that we were going to make some Thin Mint Truffles. These are really good and I can't wait to get started. So let me go ahead and take you over what you're going to need. So this is really easy to make, guys. You're just going to need a few things. You're going to need a whole box of Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies. If you don't have these or you can't get them where you are, you can always use maybe a fudge mint cookie or just like a shortbread cookie that's mint flavored. They'll work just as well. You're also going to need some cream cheese. I have candy melts here. I have dark chocolate for the coating, and then I'm going to drizzle it in some green. You're also going to need something to be able to thin the candy melts out. I'm using coconut oil today, but you can use Crisco, or Wilton does sell like these little wax chips, I believe, that you can use to thin the candy melts out. But then you're also going to need a food processor, a cookie scoop, some lollipop sticks if you're going to be putting your truffles on sticks. If you're not going to be using sticks, you're going to need some toothpicks. You're going to need a cookie sheet lined with some wax paper and a mixing bowl to put it all together. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is ground up your cookies. You can do this 2 ways. You can do it in a food processor like I have done here today, or you can put the cookies in a big Ziploc bag, take a rolling pin and just whack it until you get really thin crumbs. But once you get your crumbs, you just want to put them in a bowl. And then you're going to add your cream cheese. Make sure that it is at room temperature. That's way it's just going to make it easier to mix. You want to take a spoon to start this, or you can use a spatula, but overall you are going to end up using your hands. So I'm going to get this all mixed. It's going to come out to be like a dough consistency, and then we'll move on. Once you have your dough made, the cookies and the cream cheese all mixed together, we're going to go ahead and start forming the balls. Now, if you had a food processor and you crumbled the cookies in there, instead of making a big mess with spoons and your hands, you can always just throw the cream cheese in there and mix it together, and that'll make the dough for you. But sometimes it is fun to get your hands dirty, so just mix it until you get it all nice together. What we're going to do now is form the balls. This you are going to have to use your hands. You can definitely wear gloves if you're going to be making this for a party. I would suggest that, but this is just for me and my husband. So you want to remove any jewelry that you have, set it to the side, and then we're going to start making the balls. To form the balls, I'm going to use this cookie scoop. I believe this is a tablespoon cookie scoop, but I'm going to use this. If you do not have one of these, you can just basically eye it. Same thing. You'll get the same result. I just want mine a little bit more uniform, so I'm going to use a cookie scoop because I have it. But basically you just want to start making them here. What I like to do is scoop them all out first and then roll the balls, but you don't have to do that. You can do it however you want. Let me just get a few here. And then you're just going to take one of the balls, roll it in your hands to form a small ball. And then just put it back on the cookie sheets. Once you have all your balls formed and rolled into a ball, you're going to place this in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes so that they can harden, so we can coat them in our chocolate. So I'm just going to finish up all my balls here, and then I'll be back. Okay, so these were in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes and they did harden up. At this time, if you want to take them and roll them a little bit more just to make sure that you got a perfect ball, you can, but if you're not too worried about it, then don't worry about it. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and melt our chocolate. What you want to do is take whatever oil you're going to be using to thin out your candy melts, and you're just going to plop it right on top here. I'm going to use a little bit for the green. And then you're gonna go ahead and stick these in the microwave one at a time in about 30 seconds at a time intervals. You want to keep stirring it so that you don't burn it. But once we have it all melted, we're gonna start dipping. Okay, so there's two ways of making this. The first way is going to be just with your traditional lollipop stick, kind of like a cake pop. You're going to take it, dip it into the chocolate, just the tip, very little. Then you're going to take the stick with the chocolate, put it into the center of the little ball, and just leave it there to dry. The second way is the traditional way of making truffles, which I'm not very fond of, but the way you want to do it is take a toothpick. You're going to insert it into the pop, you're going to pick it up, and then you're going to place it in the chocolate. You're going to take your spoon and kind of just spoon over the chocolate, being careful not to hit the cake ball, or our truffle in this case, with the spoon. You're going to pick it up, tap off the excess, and then you're going to put it back onto the wax paper. Give the toothpick a tiny twist to release it. And then take a little bit of your chocolate on a spoon, put it right on top there just to cover the hole. With clean hands, you can just pat down the chocolate. You're going to be covering it with chocolate drizzle, so that top piece really isn't going to matter. But I'm going to continue making my little balls, dipping them in chocolate, and then I'll come back and show you how to drizzle them. I forgot to show you guys, once you dip the lollipop stick in the chocolate and put it into the truffle, you're going to want to let that sit and harden for about 5 minutes. Then you want to take the whole thing and go ahead and dip it into your chocolate to coat the whole truffle. So what you want to do is just take it, you're going to dip it in, make sure it gets all coated, pull it back up, give it a few taps just to get a little bit of the excess chocolate off. And then you're going to sit it back on the wax paper to harden. So I'm going to finish that up here, make sure all of them are coated. Then I'm going to put them back in the refrigerator just for about 5 minutes just to get the chocolate a chance to harden back up, and then we'll show you how to drizzle them. So we have our green candy melt here melted and ready to go. You want to be able to put this into something to be able to drizzle it a little bit easier. I'm sure you could probably take your spoon and drizzle it back and forth like that and maybe get it in there, but I don't like to go that route. There's two ways you can do it. You can use a disposable pastry bag to do it. You just want to put the chocolate in there, snip off the top, or you can use a sandwich bag. 9 times out of 10 I will use a sandwich bag if it's just a little bit that I'm drizzling, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna get the bag like that, put my chocolate in there, right into the center there. Close it back up. Oh no. Close it back up. Squeeze out the air. Take a pair of scissors and snip the tiniest bit off. You're going to squeeze all your chocolate to the corner. And then for the pops or the truffles that are on the stick, I like to pick up the truffle, squeeze a little bit of this out to get going, and then just drizzle it back and forth on both sides. And then you're just going to put it back on the sheet there. So you just want to drizzle it, both sides. Do one more here to show you. There we go. And then the truffles that are just on the cookie sheet, I know they're a little bit hard to see because of the sticks, but what you want to do is just hover over it. You're just going to drizzle on top like that. You are going to waste a little bit of chocolate this way just because it's going on the cookie sheet, but it's not too much. You just want to drizzle all of those. and then you're gonna let this sit. You can let it sit on your counter. You don't have to put it back in the refrigerator. If you're in a hurry, go ahead and put it back in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes. But once the chocolate hardens, I'll bring you back and show you the final result. Okay guys, so there you have it, our Thin Mint Truffles. I think these look great, and I'm really proud of them. There are a few ways that you can package them up. The first way is just going to be either like in a takeout box or just some type of treat box that you can put them in to give to your friends. You can also do them up this way. This is just a plain cellophane bag that you can get at any craft store really, or a cake decorating supply store. I tied it with a little bit of ribbon. You can give them away that way, or if you're having a party at your house, you can always just serve them just like this. Regardless of the way you made them, whether they were on the sticks or the actual truffle form, they look great. I'm going to cut open one, see what it looks like inside. What it looks like inside, just the gooey Thin Mint cream cheese with the chocolate coating. It just looks awesome. You do want to keep these in the refrigerator until you're going to serve them. You want to take them out maybe 15 minutes before you're going to serve them to your guest, but you do want to keep them refrigerated just because this is cream cheese. But that's all I have for today, guys. If you do have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. If you want to see any other type of Girl Scout cookie things, leave it in the comments down below. But that's all I have for today. Until next time, guys. Bye.